Hey friends, Jessica here with Creators Couture, and we are going to make a really fun tutorial today. What you see here is what we're going to make, and it's some really fun and joyous multicolor flowers, and I really wanted something inspired by like fiber art, and also I feel like it's a little couture kind of inspired, and also with touches of embroidery, and I really had fun putting this one together. To get started though, I'm going to show you the brushes that we're going to use. So first of all, the star of this is the Fantastic Fiber brushes, which I just released, which are really inspired obviously by fiber, by textiles, and having all these like threads, you know, weaving together with multiple colors. That is really fun with a really textural feel, really getting that fiber art. And then for accents, we're using the Embroidery Magic collection, which many of you guys are familiar with, to make these really cool, realistic 3D embroidery style accents. And then just a little teeny cameo from the Pattern Painter brushes. So really excited. And what's cool is that you can download, if you're a Behance subscriber, you can download all the source files and even use them in your own items, even items for sale, as long as it's part of a new work. And what's even more fun is if you want to follow along with the tutorial, I've already preloaded all the brushes for the subscribers, so you don't have to go, oh my god, excuse me. So if you're like, you know, following along, you don't have to go hunt up these brushes in all your collections. So that's another perk that subscribers have. And just to give myself a shout out, you can become a subscriber on Behance and you get, years and years of tutorial toolkits, exclusive brushes, and then like all these little toolkits for my tutorials, which makes it more fun and easy. So let's get going. I'm like getting back into the mode of tutorials and creation. I've been so busy with just life. It's been quite crazy. But here we have, you know, like what I ended up with. We've got my brushes already loaded. If you're not familiar with the multicolor technique or the embroidery brushes, I'll link them down below, and I've got foundation tutorials for everything, but I won't go too slow today because most people are familiar with my techniques. So what I do is I have a starter file, very, very beautiful illustration that I've created here with all of my skills. And so this one is going to just kind of be my guide for my flowers. And I think I did follow along quite good. So that's my layer in red. That's my guide file. So I'm going to make a new layer here. And I want this kind of like a rustic look. So here I'm going to start with this flower. This was like my star, my diva, the one I started with. And I'm just going to freehand a circle actually with the selection tool, the lasso tool over here. And I'm just going to not even worry if it's perfect. You could use your circle tool and stuff as well, but I'm just going with it. So there I've got a nice selection. I have a new, what do you call it? A new layer created. And then the first one, I believe, yes. So here you can see this nice, lovely, like we should just zoom in a little bit to just appreciate it. Look at this nice multicolor brush stroke. Let me undo. So what I did was I think I did a little bit like this. So I just kind of went in from the center, and let's just see. And even I left some spaces and stuff as well, a few. So I'm not going to worry too much about making it perfect. But I will kind of leave some of those little spaces here, which I think kind of adds a little charm. And I left a little bit of space here in the center as well. That's good enough. So I'm going to make a new layer and kind of keep things all on their own layer. And so I wanted to do a little central kind of circle here. And so, by the way, that was brush 18 from the new fiber collection. And then, let's see here. Then I grabbed brush number 5, and you'll just see a little preview of it here. And also the, the color palettes that I use, I really, really bebopped around and picked out palettes from my Tropical Glitchcore collection, my Colors of the Côte d'Azur. So as I go through, that's also I need to remind you. So I used brush 18 to start off with, and this color palette was actually one of the ones from the Tropical Glitch Core collection, and I will link that down below. And then this one also had a color palette from the same collection, but with the fiber. So as you guys can see, I do like mixing. Oh my gosh, we have a thunderstorm. Part of me, I'm like, I wonder if I should unplug my laptop. It's really refreshing though. Okay, probably it's okay. It's really, really refreshing to have some weather like anything other than sun, because we've been in a major drought here. Okay, so what I'm doing with this one is I'm doing a little circle, and I could actually leave a little bit of a hole like I did there. I might left bracket and make it just a little bit smaller. But anyway, I'm gonna try to not, I think I'll leave that one. Okay, I think I'll leave it without a hole there, and silence my phone. So we're gonna have this one not have that little hole in the center, but anyway, making a little radial stroke. I wanna keep on track here and make sure that we get through this very fast. And I can go ahead and deselect, because now I'm just gonna do this accent of the embroidery brush. So the embroidery brush that I got was brush number 127 using color palette 2. And as you can see here, we've got a really nice sort of knit stroke. But what we want to do is go ahead and add the layer style from the embroidery brushes, because I added, like, let's see here, thread 1 dark background. That adds a little bit of depth to this stroke, which really helps it to pop and be more realistic. So I'm just going to cut this and go through here and have a little bit of fun making some radial, imperfect sort of strokes. And I really like having fun with that. That looks quite cool. So, and then if we go through here, I'm going to turn off this layer here. And as you can see, it really gives a cool, 3D sort of effect with those brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and then I'm going to make a new layer, and I added this little accent here. So this is brush 59, embroidery brush 59, palette 11 in a pink, and I just had a little fun. Now notice if you go left to right, it's going to have this, this brush go one way. So you need to be cognizant of that while you're drawing it, and can always continue going like in one direction. But I just had a little fun with that, and although that looks a little funny, so yeah, kind of just went around where there's the edges, the rough edges or the sharp edges, and I think this looks kind of cool. So that actually is fine. I'm happy with that. And we've got our first flower here, so we're just going to truck through them, and basically we're going to kind of do the same thing. So let's see what brush I have next. So I have all my embroidery ones at the bottom and then the other ones at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go do this one, which that flower I love. She's gorgeous, and it looks like I have 6 6 little petals, if you want to call them. So let's go back, and I look at my little thing here, and I put it, in here. So I will go ahead and be using good techniques and group my thing, unlike the last one that I did. Whenever I'm messing around, I have to make good practices. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to do that same circle technique, but I kind of don't want them to, some of them are cut off and some of them are kind of a fade. So the brush that I'm going to use is brush number 3 with a color palette, again from the Tropical Glitch Core collection, so that was quite cool. And let's see here, so we're going to just I'm going to play around with doing this like so. And some of them are going to be more cut off and some of them are not going to be, but I'm fine with that. So looks like I might have used another color palette, but whatever. I saved it as it is, it's fine. So I'm going to hit save. And then I added of course, new layer again. We're gonna be using Good Habits. This is brush 41, again with a different color palette, and creating some of these soft sort of center bubbly kind of things, which I'm happy about. That's good. And now we're just going to have two embroidery things, accents. So I'm going to go ahead and add the layer style before I do the center embroidery accent. And then again, I'm going to go back to this brush here and do like I did like here, and just made a few things in the center. It's not exactly the same as I did before, but you know, whatever, it's fine. I want to go through this fast and furious, and then I'm going to go back to that base layer, make a new layer above it, add my thread layer, and then I'm going to add, this is the embroidery brush 6 palette number 2, and add these little, I liked these little accents going down the, little embroidery accents going down the flower. And sometimes if I'm using my, oh gosh, my Wacom tablet, but you can use, you know, a regular mouse pad. But I always implore everybody to, if you can get even a $25 mouse pad, like a basic one on Amazon, it is so game changing. I have everybody keeps messaging me going, oh my God, I finally got a little tablet. I can't believe how this changes everything. I'm like, yeah, it's, and especially people before, if you know you weren't in necessarily in illustration, like even myself, I was in design, I wouldn't necessarily feel like I needed it, but it's just so much fun, gives you, it's just a wildly different experience. So now let's start on this flower, and we've got two different brush strokes here, one embroidery. I really like how this one turned out. And it looks like, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I made 8 of those little things. Oh, I even wrote myself a little cross thing, which, you know, yay. So the one I started off with was, let's see here, I think this is brush, no, that's not it. Brush 14. So this is really cool. I like it. We're getting these kind of stripy things. It looks very textile, very fiber. Brush 14, again with another color palette from that collection. I have to remember that when I credit this video. Okay, so I'm going to, that I link all this that I use, the color palettes. Sometimes I link the brushes, but I forgot to link the color palettes. Well, I haven't posted it yet. So I'm gonna just go like so on my guides that I created. And, oh, that one's a little bit not straight. And they always look, oh, I could also like do it a little like fading, like maybe not have them be going completely in the center. Anyway, sometimes it adds a little like, little nice, like I like that actually, so that's fine. And now I'll make a layer underneath it, and I grabbed brush 25 with another orange color palette from the Glitch Core brushes, and I just put a little in the center bit. I kind of just added a light stroke, and I think that looks really cool, very fibery, leaving kind of little spaces as well. Gonna hit save, don't forget to keep always saving, and then I added some accents, and honestly I really loved the colors and how this all turned out, but I totally didn't plan the colors. It was total stream of consciousness. A lot of the times when I was picking out my brushes for from the embroidery collection, I just left, like I wanted to make it easy as possible, so I left. I was like grabbing a brush, I'm like, this is a cool brush. I'm like, oh, the color, you know what, the color's fine, let me just leave it. So I really but it really worked. So now I'm gonna take this embroidery brush number 4 with color palette 11, and it's a purple, and I've got the thread layer style, thread 1 dark background, which is like one that I use a lot. And even if it's, even if the flowers themselves are not dark background, if you're doing the embroidery on top of another one or another color, I usually use this thread 1 dark background. So that's fine, that flower's done. Okay, we're chucking through here. Now I think I'll go to this one here. Or let's see here, what are we up to next? Okay, so let me be good and group these. Just so many more good habits when I'm doing them than when I'm not. Okay, I'm actually gonna go, no, stop. I'm gonna go through my brushes like the way that I saved them. So I have this one. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to do this flower next. Okay, we have got, okay, where are we here? There and there. Okay, so this is brush, no. I've got to see what brush this is, which I didn't save it. So let me go here to my libraries. I'm going to pop up if the library will load. Love that. This one's a very distinctive brush. But since these fiber brushes are new, I don't know it off of the top of my hand. So let's go down through here. 31, a jiggly one. Okay, so I'm going to save this, 31. And again, the color palette is from the same collection. And let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, where is it over here? Okay, so I'm gonna kind of do like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, make a new layer. And then I've got these yellow, which I think I'm gonna do this in slightly different. Didn't make that kind of clipping mask shape, but now I think I will for the yellow. So I'll go like this, and I'm not gonna worry. 44 brush, again, another color palette from this. And in between there, I'm gonna go make like this. Okay, that's fine. Hit save, make a new layer, add my thread layer style, go back to that brush 127 that I've used on a couple places and make a few of those. Okay, I'm really happy. And then again, this one is harking back, kind of having some similarities to the first one I did with that pink kind of, what do you call it? That pink edging. So I'm gonna go like 1, 2, 3, and just doing a little like that. So that's fine. I'm calling that as good. Okay, same thing. Okay, again, grouping, love that for me, new layer. And then I'm going to I'm gonna put this one, no, it'll be on top. So again, I'm gonna make a little rough shape. And then, oh yeah, so this I use all one brush. It's brush 48, and I did all this like radial sort of flower. Again, with a color palette from the same collection. That looks great. And then, oh, and then this is brush 1. I just did a little pom-pom, little, dot here. That was cool. And then new layer, thread layer. Then I grabbed brush 29 with the, let's deselect here. Brush 29 with palette 10, and I might have just literally grabbed the same color, but it worked. It was blue. I don't know if I picked another color or not, but anyway, that's good. I love it. It's very abstract, but we're really getting this fiber feel. And what is next on our journey? I'm like, why am I impatient to have it done? Probably because I just have been taking ages to get everything done lately. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, how do I even get everything? Like, I don't know, it's just wild. Trying to be more efficient with my time. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is do these two together. These ones are kind of wild, kind of funky sort of things, but they're created by 3 brush strokes. So the base is I made this swirly circle, and then I have the different color puffy little ones, and then an embroidery accent. So what I'm going to do is take this It's brush 34, and I'm just gonna make a little, yeah, a little something like this, and I'm not gonna worry. The color palette, it again is from the same collection. And then I took the same brush with a slightly different color palette down here and just made a little sort of situation like that. Actually, this one I filled it in, but okay. Just made like so. Oh, and then maybe I took the other one and also did like that, okay. So I kind of did a little yin and yang, and then the same thing, I did the base and then I did that. So that kind of adds a little bit of, you know, just spicing it up variation. And I put these on the same layer, so I don't want to do that actually. So I'm going to hit Command Shift J or Control Shift J, and that's going to put one on their own layer. So now I'll focus up here. I'm going to make a new layer. Is that it right there? Okay, good. So now I'm going to go, is that the one we did? Oh. Okay, so here is brush 50. And so I want to do these little like poofy things here. Let's just zoom in. So just like a translucent. So I'm going to do the same thing. Let's give a zoom. And I'm just going to go like this around there, like so. And then I'll go ahead and stay on the same layer for this one. I'm not going to be that whatever about it. And I grabbed in a green and a purple and a green, and that's fine. And so now let's go down here. Same thing. New layer. Let's start with the green. Let's see here. And these are very, would be very, very loosely considered flowers, but it's just the motif, it's the vibe. Okay, and then I'm going to get the purple. Okay, that's fine. And now I'll make a new layer, add the thread, and I just added this little, this is brush 45 in a yellow. So this one was real, what you would call real abstract, but let's group that. I am good with it. And then same thing, new layer, thread layer, go up here, and we'll just fly that over there. So as you can see, if you're following along, it really is nice to have the brushes, like I have the brushes preloaded for you. So the membership does have its privileges, and also, but also these are mixer brushes, the embroidery, so if you change the brush size, the color will drop out and you will need to reload it with the palette. I always have people really excited to get using those, and they never look at the tutorial or all the information I put for them, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I changed the brush size and the color's gone, the brushes are broken. I'm like, no, they're really not. Anyway, okay, so let's go in on this one here. And okay, so yes, let's go here. We're gonna put it in somewhere in here. And I'm getting this really nice, like fuzzy, wait, no. Make a new layer. No, that's okay. Okay, this is brush 37, and I had the purpley one. So this is brush 37, which is like this cool fibery, really nice brush. But it'll keep building some opacity if you keep, pushing down. So you can build the opacity, so that's fine. I'm gonna hit save. Okay, now I'm like looking, and all the color palettes are from that collection. Now I'm gonna get which one did I use? Okay, so I'm using this brush 44 from the fiber, yellow, and I'm just doing like a side flower like that. So that's fine. And now I'm going to do a new layer. Of course, every flower has a accent of embroidery. So this one is embroidery brush 30, palette 10, and I just had a little fun making that there. Good job, group. We are flying. I really want to keep this tutorial not so long. And now we're going to do another one, the 37, brush 37. Same thing, kind of make a little, not too filled in. And then we're going to use brush 44. Again, that's the same as the yellow, that brush, that streaky brush 44, but we're using a pinky color palette. And so that's good. And now we're just going to, again, make our accent. And our accent is, here it is. So it's brush 45, palette 3, and it's this purple. And it's just going to be a little bit more subtle, but anyway, let's hit save. Okay, so that's fine. I could probably even, if I want to be really whatever, fill in this a little bit more so those accents show up. Okay, let's hit save. Oh my gosh, did I do all the flowers? Yay. Okay, save. And then now I'm gonna, okay. Gosh, I don't need to save that though. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, demo, save. And here we go. Okay, so now my last embroidery brush stroke that I'm going to do, I can turn this off. And where did I put them? Oh, you know what? I put it at the top. Okay. So let's make, let's do our last grouping. Why am I so impatient today? And I'm not even hungry, so. Okay, so this is brush 32, 123. Oh my gosh, now I'm developing dyslexia. With my layer style is going to be thread 1, dark background, and I'm just going to, what's here? Make a little bit of, yeah, I you know, kind of worked hard to like keep a little bit of like motion going around, so I'm just going to kind of mimic what I did before. I didn't put anything there, but I'm going to put that there. But it's good to keep a bit of like, you know, think about the movement, the motion. Okay, that's good enough. Let's hit save. And now behind the flowers, I'm going to use brush number 4 with a blue-green, and I just enjoyed creating these, this is the fiber again, so you got that really nice fibery texture. And I want to make sure that I kind of look at, I'm trying to think more on composition and stuff. So I kind of just went around and was putting, you know, kind of trying to keep a little bit of, not fill everything in, leave some spaces. Sometimes it's hard for me. I'm like a bit of a maximalist, but kind of create some rhythm around here and create a little, you know, some little greenery, which that I'm happy about. I'm going to hit save. And then the last thing that I did was I took this pattern painter brush 29. Now this is really strong, but what I did was I put the layer opacity at 16%, but it's the same color palette. So I'm gonna go, wow, I did it 16%. And then I will go through, and even I could, because you know, you need to have some kind of hierarchy. I could even take the texture, which is the pattern, and the scale down, kind of create like a slightly different, make the pattern coming out a bit smaller, which I do go over on the tutorial for those brushes. But I like adding a little bit of that pattern in the background, but it's very subtle, but it also creates another layer and creates that depth. And so I like that. And doesn't, you know, the flowers are the stars, so it's really important to kind of keep a little bit of hierarchy. I'm going to hit save. And So that is what I created. That's the version 1, version 2. So not so bad. This one was not so bad that I created, because usually it looks like the Temu version. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel if you want lots of multicolor brush magic and help a lot of people create things that they didn't think that they could. So having the right tools can really make a difference and help you create these really fantastical, cool pieces for, you know, illustration, surface design, accent on your photos. There's a lot of different things. And I have a lot of people who don't necessarily need to do these kind of things for their work, but they're doing it for their personal art projects and enjoyment. So anyway, thank you so much. I will see you on the next tutorial.